A reading from John chapter 13, verses 21 through 32. After saying this, Jesus was troubled in spirit and declared, "Very truly, I tell you, one of you will betray me." The disciples looked at one another, uncertain of whom he was speaking. One of his disciples, the one whom Jesus loved, was reclining next to him. Simon Peter therefore motioned to him to ask Jesus of whom he was speaking. So while reclining next to Jesus, he asked him, "Lord, who is it?" And Jesus answered, "It is the one to whom I give this piece of bread when I have dipped it in the dish." And when he had dipped the piece of bread, he gave it to Judas, son of Simon Iscariot. After he received the piece of bread, Satan entered into him. Jesus said to him, "Do quickly what you are going to do." No one at the table knew why he said this to him. Some thought that because Judas had the common purse, Jesus was telling him, "Buy what you need for the festival," or that he should give something to the poor. So after receiving the piece of bread, he immediately went out, and it was night. When he had gone out, Jesus said, "Now the Son of Man has been glorified, and God has been glorified in him. If God has been glorified in him, God will also glorify him in himself, and will glorify him at once." This is the word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God. As I reflect on this text today, I'm drawn to the character of Judas, as one would be. And on this Holy Wednesday, I'm considering the ways that evil forces, such as what is called Satan in this text, and we refer often to Satan in our Christian tradition, but what we really mean is this spiritual force of wickedness inside us that drives us to do things that might be out of character for us in the way that we were created, that drives us to do things that are against the good nature that God instilled in us. Now, I'm also sitting outside today, and I'm looking at these trees, and I'm hearing children playing in the distance, and I see the church parking lot, and I'm just wondering, how God could have created all of this. That truly creation is good. At our heart of hearts, we as people are good. My dog is sitting here laying on the ground, and he is my constant companion and friend, and he is part of the good creation that God created for us, that God gave to us to take care of. But so often, like Judas, we can fall aside from our duty. We can fall aside from our responsibilities to care for one another, for creation. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go out and be over the top making gestures to save the world, but rather beware of your own capacity for evil, because what happened to Judas in the text here, where Judas is filled with this evil presence, with Satan, to go out and put into motion the plot that would kill Jesus. What happens here is that he is not aware of his own capacity for evil. His own friends, his closest traveling partners, are not aware. They think that when Jesus says, "Go and do what you need to do," that he's going to do something good. And so often, that's what we do too. So often we find ourselves in situations where we have a great capacity for both good and evil, and we find ourselves in places where either we or our friends or our closest acquaintances and family members even do not know the great evil that we are capable of. So my challenge to us today, to you, to myself, is to take a moment to humble yourself and to really contemplate your own capacity for great evil and great good. That it's one in the same. That we were created by an all-powerful God. We were created by a deity that can cast the stars in the sky, make trees grow from earth, that brought us this world. We were imbued with that power, and God called it good, and we fell from that power, and now we are also capable of great evil. And so my challenge to you is to be in the world, not of it. To challenge yourself to think more deeply about the ways that you can do great good and great evil.